Moi kaikille. Ethan Mene. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Welcome to Learn Finnish with me, episode 153. Still in beginner Finnish. Maybe by episode 1000 we'll have achieved the level B1 basic intermediary. Just kidding. We're actually very competent, very capable. We are very alukas, if I may say so. And is it yahlakas or something, some word like that. We're very intelligent and we're very gifted. And it's time we speak positively about ourselves. I say we because if you take the average of all of our Finnish abilities, then we're all basically native. I mean, if I'm just an outlier, all right? I'm just an outlier in the data. We're a bunch of native Finnish speakers here, all right? But just only look at the average. But hey, Lorelai, hey, Poyu, hey, JF, and 27. Good to have you here. Did I say yahlakas? It's lahyakas. You know why I said yahlakas? I can actually explain why I said that. Because where do you get gifts? You get gifts at a party. And a party is a juhla, right? And that's why I confused it. Okay, there is method to my madness. Okay, lahjakas. Though it is hilarious that the first two Finnish words I say I mess up. Yes, lahjakas ja älykäs. But yes, and Lorelai says, moi olin jo etsimässä streamia. I was already looking for the stream. And then what Lorelai said here, keskiviikkona satuin ravistamaan. I don't know what that is. Avattua kahvijuomaa. So you got some coffee drink. Sitä kahvia meni vähän kaikkialle. Something on Wednesday. Hold on. Let me come over to Google Translate. On Wednesday, I happened to shake an opened coffee drink. A little of that coffee went everywhere. Ravistamaan. Satuin ravastimaan. Ravistamaan. And then an avattua kahvijuomaa. That's an opened coffee beverage. Sitä kahvia meni, it went. Vähän, a little, kaikkialle, everywhere. Yeah, that's tricky. Kaikkialle. And yeah, Poju, hyvää iltaa. Tyler, ja muut. What is this? Yakso 17 times 3 to 3 squared? What? 17 times 9? Wait, what? Oh, is that the episode? Episode number 17 times 3 squared. All right, that's it. Okay, episode 153. Actually, this is a good point. Don't ask me how. Well, you can ask me how I know this, but I wrote a paper about the number 153 for a medieval art class. Back when I was a bachelor student, I studied a lot of medieval literature and art and whatever. And numerology was really big in the Middle Ages. And back then, especially, they were reading the Bible and there are numbers in the Bible. But the Bible's the word of God, so it was like the numbers were a big deal. And for some reason in the Bible, there's this one passage where Jesus throws, the disciples are out on a boat. They're trying to catch fish, and Jesus is on the shore, and the disciples aren't catching anything. And then Jesus is like, why not just try throwing the net on the other side of the boat? And they're like, Jesus, that's the dumbest idea, but okay, we'll try it anyway. So they try it, and then the net is completely full of fish. And the number of fish in the net is 153. I think this is off the top of my head. I could be mistaken a little bit about some of the details here from the Bible, but 153 then became a number of significance because it is the summation of the numbers 1 through 17. If you add up all the numbers from 1 to 17, it adds up to 153. I think. I know I could. I hope I remember this correctly. But I do remember 17 in the Middle Ages was considered a perfect number because it represented the 10 commandments of the Old Testament combined with the 7 fruits of the Spirit according to the New Testament. But also the number of the fruits of the Spirit, you have to go to the Latin Vulgate, because the enumeration of these fruits in like more modern translations, it only gives you 6. But in the Latin Vulgate, there were 7 for some reason. And anyways, there was this idea of like, oh, you obey the old law, the 10 commandments, but then you're saved through the new law that was brought by Jesus or whatever. Anyways, 153 became a really big number, or at least some medieval theologian wrote about it. I think it was Thomas Aquinas. Was it? Yeah, I think it was Thomas Aquinas who wrote about it. And then maybe I saw, oh yeah, and I picked it up because there were 17. Look, okay, you know what? I'm going way back. I'd have to look at the paper that but I was doing some analysis of a medieval baptism, illumination from a medieval manuscript, and there were a number of stars in the sky, and yeah, I don't know. Look, you know what? I was like going Robert Langdon. All right, I was writing my own Da Vinci Code. Anyways, okay, well, thanks for that. Thanks for reminding me of that, Polyu. Episode 153. But yeah, what sounded a bit like a flight steward. I am giving you guys directions. I am welcoming you aboard the plane. We are launching. And also, I need to put my fan on. It's really warm. I got worked up thinking about a number 153. Yuhlalin and Lahya. Thank you, Po-Yu. Yes. It's a party gift. Here, right. A celebratory gift. There we go. Yuhlalinen. Yeah, we're at the cruising altitude above the language learning. Yeah, if you replace your morning coffee with green tea, you can lose up to 87% of what little joy you have left in your life. That's how I feel about matcha. I like matcha. However, what is with the craze going on right now? Why is matcha suddenly so popular? I'm like, whole stores are popping up that are matcha, and it's like expensive matcha. And I've tried it, and it's so bitter. It's just like, this is what we've worked so hard to remove from coffee, right? We've tried to remove all of these flavors from coffee. Why are we adding it to tea now? Like very bitter and almost acidic. But I like a matcha that's like in a nice latte. And I want the hint of matcha flavor, but I don't want to be a matcha forward experience. But yeah. Wait, hold on a second. Polyu is giving me some math, and it's all in Finnish. Yes, 1 plus all the numbers to 17 is 153. Because because they can be combined. Oh yeah, you can combine them. So 1 plus 17 is 18. 2 plus 16 is 18. So you end up with 18 times 17 divided by 2, which is 153. There you go. Look at that. Paul, you found a little, a shortcut, so to speak. That was very beautiful. Math is beautiful. I love it. Also, Finnish is beautiful. And I love it almost as much as math. I actually really enjoyed Uusi Kielemme last week. We got into some interactive exercises. So we could do a few of these. But first, I realized, I'm being too well behaved the past few weeks. I feel like I haven't done enough ranting, enough rambling. Even though I guess just now we rambled a little bit about my medieval education in undergrad. But I today just finished the audiobook of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't hate it. There. Here, I'll say a couple. Here's my review of it, and I'll maybe try to avoid spoilers if possible. Although I guess at this point, you guys, I mean, come on. The books have been out so long. You probably all know. First of all, Ron is the most annoying, insufferable character, and I think it's okay to have characters like Ron in a book. What I don't really like about Ron in his depiction is that he's very poor, right? Or that's how he's portrayed, that his family doesn't have money, and he's very butthurt about this, and he's comparing himself to other people. But you would think he is the most spoiled brat in all of Hogwarts, even more so than Draco Malfoy. Like, Ron is just so ugly, especially in this book. He's just so mean to everyone. Like, even random people that he's like in the hallway with, and he drops something, and they like stare at him, and he like says something really nasty to them. And I think the problem with it is like, I don't know. I feel like Rowling kind of treats it like this is normal, and he doesn't need to apologize, or like he doesn't undergo any sort of character development. Maybe that's my problem with it. Not that there should be some moral policing or whatever about how characters behave, but like, I was frustrated that Harry and Hermione just basically accept him, and they just sort of brush over the problem. Like, when the way he's behaving towards Harry and Hermione in this book is like insanely mean. It goes beyond just being frustrated with a friend, or having a tiff or whatever, and going through a period when you're not talking to each other. That's normal for kids and even adults, I suppose. But like, the way in which it happens just feels excessive, and the way that they end up being friends again, it doesn't feel like the characters went through the proper journey together. It's sort of like, by the end of the story, all of that is just brushed under the carpet. Oh yeah, Ron is just an asshole. So what? First major problem. Second major problem, and maybe an even bigger problem. Rowling does a good job in each book of introducing ideas and magical spells and trinkets and devices or whatever that turn out to be central to solving the mystery by the end of the book. However, this then has now become a compounding problem I've noticed with all the books. Like, it just doesn't make sense. like it's way too contrived, and it starts to feel like the characters are puppets, and the story is being written in order to achieve a preconceived end. So everything that leads up to that end, it feels contrived, especially the way that book 4, I mean book 3 ended really horribly in my opinion. But book 4 was also kind of stupid. Like book 3, there's literally a time travel device. And it's like you can't just throw a time travel device into the world. That you know that if people have access to time travel, that just completely changes everything. And the fact that the Ministry of Magic would just give it to a child so she can use it to attend more classes, that doesn't really make any sense. Come on. And then where's the time travel device when Cedric Diggory and Harry get, key portaled away or whatever? And then it's like, oh, Moody wasn't Moody, but there's this Imperium curse that can control people. But then it's also very convenient that there's the Veritas serum or whatever that you can apply to somebody and immediately get them to tell the complete truth, and so that then the bad guy explains the entire story, like the big reveal at the end of but the big reveal is just so complex and convoluted, and it was like I was helping Harry so that he would get an advantage to then do this and that, and it was so indirect. And he was like, I couldn't kill Harry on campus because I was saving him for Lord Voldemort. But then after the plan to kill Harry through this very complex Rube Goldberg machine of the Triwizard Tournament, that fails. So then the guy who's posing as Moody is like, now I'm going to kill you myself, and I'm going to be the great, hero for Voldemort. And I was like, well, why did you wait to do that? So the whole Triwizard thing wasn't necessary if you can just kill him here and then bring him to Voldemort or something. It's really, I don't know. It's so frustrating to be interested in the story and the story world, only to find out that the author doesn't really take it seriously. And I refuse to accept the idea that the problem is I'm thinking about it too much. Tyler, don't you realize this is a book for children? Kids are stupid. They don't care. I care, all right? I am still a child at heart, and probably intellectually to some extent as well, okay? Emotionally, very much so. But, like, sometimes I don't want to say it's inevitable, but there are cases where it's like, yeah, okay, there are leaps of faith that are sometimes acceptable within a children's story, but nothing that is just so blatantly, I don't know, contrived or blatantly illogical. And all of this, by the way, requires that the adults in Harry Potter are just the dumbest people that have ever been born. That they are just so stupid. That's also what frustrates me. I'm like, because clearly Rowling is trying to portray adults. Though, and to portray them in a way that children perceive them. But that doesn't mean the adults are actually making dumb, I know that they're that dumb. There you go. There's my rant. Look, I kept it to less than 10 minutes, but I just had to share that with the world. I still would probably give this book like a 4 out of 10. Like there were parts of it that were quite interesting, and I do like the way that Rowling's able to create a diverse cast of characters in terms of their temperaments and personalities and whatnot. But it's also kind of like, I mean, it does actually. I mean, I'm not a fan of the stereotyping. When I say diverse, I don't mean like the stereotypical, the stereotypes of all the characters from different parts of the the Durmstrang, and I don't know. It's not so great, but I'm thinking just in terms of the main characters and the houses and the professors, and it's interesting. Oh, and the house elves is so dumb. The house elves that speak in broken English for no reason. Like, why do they speak broken English. The house elves are born into these wizarding families. They would speak perfect English. Why did they talk like Jar Jar Binks? You know? So that was, and the whole Hermione liberating the house elves, it just feels weird. It just feels weird. It's also one of these other things that just sort of gets invented later. Like, it's not present at all in the first book or two, and then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, by the way, don't you know house elves? Hogwarts has been hiding house elves. Okay, I'm done. There you go. There's my rant. And going back, okay, Vlad, you had a very good point. Let's see. Actually, if I Control Z, I go back. Yeah, there's a little tip for you. If you Control Z on Google Translate, you get the previous translation. Yuhlalinen Lahya doesn't translate as celebratory gift in your humble opinion. To you, Yuhlalinen is more like a ceremonious gift. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a gift that is given in a ceremonious way or during a ceremony, as opposed to a celebratory gift that you're like, I don't know, whatever. You guys, you know. Yeah, having a lot of kids needing to go to magical boarding school is expensive. Okay, here's another problem, a bone I have to pick with Rowling. And the whole Weasley family, it makes no damn sense that they are that poor. They live in this incredible wizard house out in the countryside. And the father is like a long time employee of the Ministry of Magic. I understand that he's a civil servant, so he's not rich. Like, he might not be as rich as the Malfoys, who maybe have inherited wealth, or I don't know, they got through criminal means or something, I don't know. But like, it doesn't make sense that the Weasleys wouldn't be able to afford robes, like literal, like just children's clothing, you know, the uniforms to send their children to school with. And also, the two oldest children are already grown up and have jobs. So it's like there's just Percy, the twins, Ron, and Ginny, right? And look, I just feel like it's understandable that the family might not have a lot of money. But even that doesn't make sense, because Arthur Weasley is very like well known within the Ministry of Magic. He's not like some tiny low-level intern, right? He's been there for like decades. The Minister for Magic knows him personally. Like all these people, all the higher up top people know who he is, and he's clearly very like capable and competent. So it doesn't make sense that they're so poor. That does, yeah, I don't really get that. I feel like it's just a trope, and in that sense, I feel Rowling relies too much on exaggerations. And to me, I can't justify that, even if it's a children's book. I don't know. It's just like the characterizations are too much. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe is it the fees that it costs to send your kids to Hogwarts? Is that maybe what's draining the family's account? I don't know. Instead of Harry Potter, could we have some Tolkien talk? JF says. I mean, I could say a few things about it. I do think about this a little bit, you know, because I feel like one of the big criticisms I would give to Tolkien, if you can call it a criticism, would be to speed up the first half of Fellowship, and save some of the more like explanatory material for the appendices. Like Concerning Hobbits is very interesting, but only after you've already read the book. You know, it's such a hurdle. And whenever I try to get friends or people who aren't into Lord of the Rings and they give it a chance because I recommend it, I always kind of have to apologize a little bit and be like, look, just keep reading till you get to what is it, the prancing pony, right? Then it's going to get interesting, I promise. uh so that would be probably the biggest criticism, also because it's really repetitive as well. It's not just that there's a lot of information, a lot of lore that Tolkien is dropping, but it's very repetitive. Like the movie does a much better job at condensing the hobbits, the party, and then there's like 17 years that goes by, and then there's a very complicated arrangements that Tolkien feels the need to explain in terms of Frodo arranging to leave, and there, and Mary and yeah, Mary and the Freddie Bulger go in advance with all the furniture, and then it's only three hobbits that go through the Shire. It's Sam, Pippin, and Frodo, and then they meet. But during that time, they encounter the Black Riders like 3 times, and each time they just barely get away. And it's like, why do they have to why did they have to repeat that multiple times? Just once would be enough. And the same is true also when they go through the Old Forest and the Barrow Downs. And the hobbits, they get too lucky, in my opinion. Like, you start to feel that the main characters have plot armor, and I feel like that's a problem, right? I think it's interesting. Like, Old Man Willow is very interesting. The Barrows are very interesting. Tom Bombadil is very interesting. But the fact that they escape Old Man Willow simply because Tom Bombadil just happens to be walking down the path, it's like, okay, that was really lucky. I can maybe excuse that. But then you're telling me that when they get caught by the Barrow-wights, Frodo sings a little song, and Tom Bombadil pokes his head in the barrow, and so Tom Bombadil can just apparate, he can teleport into the barrow and rescue them. It's like, okay, now we're getting a little ridiculous. So that's kind of how I feel about the beginning. It's quite interesting, but I wish maybe it could have happened in a more dynamic or intellectually stimulating way. I don't know what the solution would be, but it just doesn't feel like a solution that when the hobbits get in trouble, they just get super lucky that a magical creature such as Tom Bombadil rescues them. And that's my take on it. It's not as aesthetically pleasing as other kinds of, I mean, compare this to The Mines of Moria, which is the best sequence in the book and the films. And when the Balrog shows up, they don't get rescued, right? No, Gandalf faces off against the Balrog, and it's incredible. And a price was paid, right? Yeah. And yeah, there's so much more character development, and the stakes get raised, and it's a very emotional and interesting kind of scene. Maybe one of the hobbits needed to die at some point. If you think about it, these 4 hobbits just go waltzing off to freaking Mordor in the last war? Are you kidding me? And they all just one of them looks into a palantir, sees the Dark Lord himself, and another one stabs the Witch King of Angmar in the back of the knee or whatever, and nearly has his arm broken off, right? And then Frodo and Sam, they're like just so lucky. But I don't know. I looking back, there isn't like a character I wish had died. Like, oh, I wish Pippin had died when he had killed the Witch King of Angmar. That, I'm not saying that, but it does feel like the characters have almost too much plot armor, that only Boromir is the one, of the Fellowship dies. And even Gandalf comes back, right? Anyways, okay, sorry. We're already 30 minutes in now. You know what, you guys, I blame chat. I blame chat. Who said it? JF, I blame you. You got your Tolkien talk. Oh yeah, Lorelai. I know that's like such a good point. Her name is literally Cho Chang. I was listening to that and I was like, but at the same time, I don't know enough about China or just Asia in general and to know like maybe that's a normal name, but at the same time, it sounds like kind of a racist name to give, get like, or at least a stereotypical kind of name. So I don't know. Uh, but yeah, welcome in DV. Good to have you here. And Zeobolt, yeah, the wizard economy, I guess. Yeah, yeah. It's like I just wish there was a little bit more depth. And see, I think maybe that's why I I get frustrated because I listen to this whole story, and for me, the best stories are the ones when they finish, they make you think back, and you're like, oh my god, like that was so genius. Everything makes sense. Everything adds up. But I don't feel like everything adds up with the Potter books. It's like, okay, I mean, maybe it adds up in a certain very superficial sense. But once you start thinking a little bit more logically about what the presence of a time travel device means, and that the Ministry of Magic knows about it and can use it, right? Or, I don't know, any of these other, the Imperious curse that, like, literally anyone that you see, like there was a polymorph, was it polymorph or some sort of polymorph juice, right? That was how, so you can literally steal someone's appearance and put them under an Imperious curse, so that they have to do exactly what you want, and then you can put a cloak of invisibility on top of them so that nobody can see them. you know I don't know, like it all just felt like it kind of feels like a magician who did a trick that wasn't all that impressive, and you were just sort of like, okay. And then the magician's like, no, 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 let me show you how I did it. And then they explain how the trick was done, and you were like, okay, now I'm even less impressed. Like, that was just overly complicated and stupid. Like, I just, that's how I felt at the end of book 4. Um, but yeah, no, oh, and Ron is just such a douchebag and so annoying. He's so mean. Lorelai says, so are we going to practice some Finnish? This is a dual purpose stream, all right? It's learn Finnish with me while I also take a few minutes to vent about I don't know, the books that I'm reading at the moment. No, JF, we're not going to distract me the whole episode. We're only 34 minutes into the episode. We're going to be fine. I'm going to get to the Finnish stuff now. Cho would be Korean and Chang might be Chinese. Okay. You're not into Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, Poyu. All of this book club stuff goes totally over your head. well, thanks for still following along, for sticking around. Let's get to some Finnish. You know what? Let's do the first interactive exercise, right? It's easy stuff, right? I should be able to do this. How many exercises are there? There's so many. Look at that. You know what? Let's go in reverse order. All right, can you both decide which partitive word completes the sentence and give the reason for why there is partitive in the first place? Okay, so I've got I choose from here. Suklasa on. So this is the chocolate, right? In the chocolate there is, or the chocolate has, I assume it's going to be cacao, right? Kakaota. And it is partitive. Is it because it's an ingredient? I feel like, it's also kind of a material. It's not a partitive verb. What else do we got here? Unfinished. No, that's not really it. uncountable. It might be uncountable as well because cocoa, but it must be ingredient because that's the most obvious whatever. All right. Contextually. Punaisessa ristissä voi luovuttaa something. Okay, I don't know. What is this? In the red... Is this in the Red Cross? I don't know this verb. Luovuttaa. Okay, let's skip this one and come back to it. Maybe by process of elimination, we'll be able to figure out. All right. Siellä rakennetaan. Why do I get confused with this? Siellä. I don't know what this means. I always forget these. But maybe it has to do with like something there. And this is loved. Or maybe it is like it is loved. Or it loves. Or something is loved to it. Look, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm really confused here. I'm looking at some of these others. No. This isn't love. This isn't love. I know someone in chat is probably writing. I'm not looking at chat. This is built. This is to build. Rakenta. Rakasta is to love. Rakenta is to build. All right? Love is something you build together. Okay? How do I say that in Finnish? Love, rakaus, right? On jotain siinä rakentat yhdessä. There you go. That love is something you build together. Let's see what Google does with it. Rakkaus on jotain, jonka rakennatte yhdessä. That's maybe a little more, I don't know, a little more poetic, a little more literary. I know the way I said it was probably sounded really dumb because I said Sina. I know anytime I use personal pronouns like Sina, it's not how Finnish people would normally say it. I just know I'm going off course, but I'd rather go off course and finish a sentence than to get stuck in the middle of a sentence where I'm trying to figure out how to use some passive inflection of a verb I don't even know. But yes, okay, rakenta, Lorelai, thank you. I knew someone was writing, and I was like, I'm not... Okay, something... Is it like over there, maybe? Siellä? Well, I thought it was like tuolla. Anyway, something is built. Is it the cathedral? Katedralia. And why would it be... Is it because it's unfinished? Because the cathedral is being built. That's my guess. We can change our answer later. Arku on... I don't know what arku means, so I'm really lost here. We're gonna have to skip this one as well. Hän ei näpistellyt. All I can think of is Nappy Boy. You remember that song? What was it? Nappy Boy Radio. God, that was there was an old song from some artist named... He had a nickname of Nappy Boy. What song was it? Somebody tell me. But I don't know näpistellyt. But it's probably a negative sentence, right? This is like the only negative sentence. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that as a placeholder. But it's basically he or she has not done something. Näpistä. Näpistelle. I have no idea. I don't even know what the original verb would sound like. Uhri pelkää. I don't know what uhri means, but I feel like pelkää means to fear. So something fears something. And maybe it's verta. Maybe it's blood. Like, some people have a fear of blood. I don't know what some of these other words are now that I look at this. Like, rassia. Why do I feel like this is fat? No, fat is rasva. So what is rassia? Rassi. And the verta is it because pelkää means you fear something? Is it always a partitive? This could be the partitive verb, although this might be the partitive verb. I don't know what that means. All right, we're gonna do a little help. We're gonna get a little help from Google. All right, let's come over here. At this point, I made the apples. I don't even know how I did that. That was cool though. I made a little apple symbol. Was it? Oh, there we go. It's like option A. You can make little apple symbols. If you're on a Mac, that is. All right. All of you Windows 11 losers out there, regretting your choice, I know. You can donate at the Red Cross. You can donate blood at the Red Cross. I changed my answer. And I don't know what partitive verb. I don't have the partitive verbs memorized, or like you can donate blood. Is it partitive because the verb requires partitive, or is it partitive because it is uncountable? I think like it's like water. You know, water's uncountable. Blood, I mean, I guess you can count blood in like liters, right? I mean, I'm sure they do count the blood they take out of you because they have to know how much they're taking, too much or too little. But in this case, you're just donating some amount of blood. And I guess grammatically, it would be the liters that are being counted, not the blood. That's one way to think about it grammatically, because it would be litra. It would be like kaksi litra verta, right? Or is there another way you would say it? And uhri is a victim. Okay, thank you for that. The victim fears trees. I don't know. What is... Okay, I'm going to look up this rassia. Type a box. Latico. Okay, type a box. Okay. Is arku a type of box? The coffin is a box. I like arku. It sounds like the Ark. You know, the Ark of the Covenant. Like you're being buried Indiana Jones style. That's how I want to go down. I want to be buried with all sorts of magical trinkets and hexes and spells. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna guess arku on rassia. Now this doesn't make any sense to me. The Ark is a box. Because what would the answer be? It's not a partitive verb. Olla is not a partitive verb, right? That can't be it. That can't be it. It's got to be puta, right? The Ark is made of wood. The Ark is wood. Aren't the Ark? I keep saying Ark. The coffin. The coffin is wood. right? And then this one, I don't know. Let's get some help with Google. She didn't tinker. Tinker, tailor, soldier, spy. She didn't tinker. What is this? Ricos sudetta. Ricos. Oh my, how I can't even remember how to spell that if I go over here. Let me try this. Something like this. Criminal charges of some kind. Criminal charges. This has to be razzia, like she didn't tinker with the box, right? Because to tinker with something is like to play around with, to like take it apart, put it back together. And then this last one, the victim fears criminal charges. Why would the victim fear criminal charges? I got them all right. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would a victim fear criminal charges? Are victims criminally prosecuted in cases? Maybe do the judges get the names mixed up sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so whoopsie daisy! I thought you were the murderer. Sorry about that." Do victims have criminal charges put against them if they like speak up? I mean, victims can fear other things of like retribution or whatever, or people might shame them, right? Or accuse them of being liars. But that's not a criminal charge. And yeah, arku is a chest, like a treasure chest. Ah, okay, so it is like an ark of the covenant. It's not just a coffin. Yes, it is a box, not razzia though. So wait. An ark is a box, but not a razzia type of box. And that is not tinker. Okay. Let's go to a more reliable source than Google Translate. All right, näpistely. Pilferage. To pilfer. To steal. To practice petty theft. To pilfer. He or she pilfered the box. That's pretty good. That's a good word in English you don't hear very often. Or he or she did not pilfer the box, excuse me. Also, razzia, let me look that up. In Finnish, yeah, razzia is a box, case, container, casket, or carton. Mostly one of relatively small size. So I feel like a casket is only for coffins. Larger boxes are called laatikko instead. Hold on a second. Now I'm pissed off now. Macaroni boxes. Those are not large boxes, yet they are still called macaroni laatikko. They're like these tiny little tin foil or aluminum foil trays with a little piece of wax cardboard on top. You know? And it has a serving of the most bland food you will ever eat in your life. If you are Italian, don't even look at it, all right? The crimes against pasta in this country, those are the real victims. Those are the real uhret in this. The Italian culture that has been not only appropriated, stomped into the dust See, at least in America, we appropriated Italian culture in a way that made it delicious. Okay, so Italians are cool with it. Italians are cool with the deep dish pizza. All right. We have at least a few good things that came out of Macaroni Grill, namely the bread that you can dip into like olive oil with balsamic vinegar and salt and pepper. That's good. Fresh bread dipped in olive oil. The best thing. I don't know. Do they do that in Italy? I can't remember. I don't think I've ever seen Italians do that. But that's what we did at Macaroni Grill. And I grew up next to the original Macaroni Grill before it sold out and became a nationwide chain. All right. This was back when Olive Garden was the big national chain. And we went to the OG Macaroni Grill, which also, by the way, was next door to the OG Rudy's Barbecue. Rudy's is also now a big national chain. And the best barbecue sauce in the world is from Rudy's Barbecue. I stand by that. I regret not bringing Rudy's barbecue sauce back. I brought Cholula instead. Foolish mistake. But yeah, those two buildings were next door. It's crazy to think. And it was in the most random place. It was on the outskirts of the city. Like almost in the middle of nowhere. And these two buildings contained the two restaurants that would then go on to be like whatever, multi-million-dollar, I don't know, chains. But where I'm getting off topic, all right? We're talking about macaroni latico. See, this is a culture stream as well. But yeah, okay. Napistelu is more like shoplifting, yeah. It's small petty theft. Maybe dialectal hypistella is also a word for touching something. A victim of a crime can also be a criminal. They were in the process of committing a crime and then someone else attacked them. so they're like being prosecuted simultaneously as the other. Okay, it's a very strange. Leave it to J.K. Rowling. She'll find a way to create magical spells and devices to justify all of this. Everything will be explained at the end. Ruumisarppu is a coffin. Macaroni rasia is where you keep some macaroni as a keepsake. Oh, it would be that small? Like you would just like almost like a little locket that you would keep on a necklace, Yeah, latico is the name of the dish type. Latico in macaroni latico probably comes from Swedish, so blame them. Yes, I love that. That is the ultimate Finnish solution. All right. They told me when I moved to Finland that Finns were practical people. And they don't disappoint. All right, because whenever you have a problem, it's probably Sweden's fault. Okay. And hey, Yuha, welcome in. How are you? But yeah, rasia is something you would put pieces of jewelry in. Okay, like a jewelry box. Horurasia, or a musical box. A soittorasia. A matchbox. Oh, JS. Don't bring up the matchbox controversy. Do you guys remember the matchbox problem? I got so upset about that. In fact, even thinking about it fills me not with rage, but with excitement, strangely. Like there are few times where you are correct and you need to stand for righteousness. And there was an article that we had about a building that caught fire because the roof was not up to code or something like this. There's supposed to be a certain like type of crawl space that has like the space of a matchbox. And it's like, the size, it was like the space between the wall and the roof or something like this can only be the size of a matchbox, or needs to be the size of a matchbox or something like this. And I was like, what kind of dumbass measuring unit is that? There are many matchboxes of many sizes, right? And then I was trying to imagine the poor husband who comes home, kids are screaming, wife is nagging, and she's like, have you checked the fire escape system? Have you checked it? You were supposed to do that last weekend and you didn't get around. Instead, you were just playing video games with your friends. Okay, honey, I'll go do it now. I'll go. She's like, well, you're gonna need this. He's like, what do I do with this? It's a matchbox. She's like, what? Come on. And she's like scolding him the whole time. Also, the irony of measuring the fire escape system with a device that can cause the fire. He's like, there's no light up here, I can't see, and he lights it, and then the whole house goes up. Just it was so blatantly ridiculous, but it was in the news. It wasn't like a parody. It was like, this makes sense to Finnish people. I refuse. But yeah, Red Lobster is a big chain restaurant in the US. Though honestly, 27, I don't remember ever going there. I don't remember that. Oh, DV, that is a good point. Thank you for putting this. Okay, yeah, I don't know law that well. But DV, I think, did you say you're a lawyer? Victims may be afraid when giving a testimony so that they don't reveal something that would put them under a criminal charge. Okay, there you go. So yeah, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing that. In the article, it was said that even a small hole size of a matchbox can cause a fire to spread. And every Finn knows the size of that said matchbox. Look, there's so many different sizes of matchboxes, okay? And also the size of the matchbox in what orientation, right? It's a three-dimensional object with completely different like sides to it, right? There's like one big flat side, there's one long skinny side, there's also a short skinny side. So which way are you supposed to orient the matchbox? What if it goes in on the skinny side, but then if you flip it the large way, it doesn't go in? Like, oh God, I don't know. Is the hole the correct size? I don't know. Not to mention, there's matchbox sizes of all kinds. All right, are we getting the big Costco jumbo size matchboxes? All right, are we getting the kind of matches that you can light a campfire with from like a mile away, Someone missed the point by a wide margin. The intention was to say that the hole doesn't need to be large. Look, I take things to their logical conclusion. And also, I think in terms of emergency preparedness, that is not an area where we should have vagueness, right? We shouldn't be using units of measurement that are so variable and they don't even match. Like the size of a hole is two-dimensional. And yet you're telling me I'm supposed to use a three-dimensional object that, depending on its orientation, would maybe or maybe not fit through the hole? No, I'm out. No. I was told Finland was a land of order and logic. I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. This is like that time when I was a kid, we had to build the kingdom of heaven according to what it says in the Bible about it, and how it has all these different gates, and the gates are made of all these different materials, and there's like all these different, I don't know, buildings and stuff, and there's the Holy of Holies. and we built a scale model of what heaven was supposed to look like. And I just remember thinking, this is really weird. Like, how do we know this? It's like, and I'm like, isn't this kind of small? Like, how are, I guess not a lot of people are going to heaven. It's like, well, yeah, about that. Okay, JS has a good point. The unit of measure does not matter if the desired optimum size is 0. No hole at all. That was not clearly communicated in the article to me. To my understanding, I thought the hole needed to be the size of a matchbox. But maybe, yeah. All right, okay. JS is tired of my BS. Okay, putting me in my place. Look, I'm just riffing, okay, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Okay, well, let's try to do another one of these, but I don't really want to do that one. What is this? Oh, this is converting. Oh God, I'm not good at this. So basically converting one noun into a plural noun, or well, not plural, but partitive. You use the partitive. So let's see, uxilasi then becomes coxy lassia, right? Okay. Like, I gaslight myself into thinking there's got to be some other. Uxi corsi becomes coxy corsia. Yeah, it doesn't undergo consonant gradation, right? Paperia. So we have one glass, one course, one paper, one wolf, susi, coxy. Oh, this is not susia. This one's different. Isn't it like sutta? Oh my God. Is that for real? I don't know where I pulled that from my subconscious, or if it was just dumb luck, but I just remember like sushi is like an old word, so it takes a different kind of ending from these newer words. Olvi. I don't know. Olvia? Yeah. What it can't be otta, right? Ovetta. What is it, guys? Olvi means door, right? What if it ovea? There we go. There we go. Oh, and Lorelei, thank you. Ovia is plural. Ovea is the singular partitive. So yeah, that in this case, the I becomes an E. It is interesting. Sometimes it doesn't, like these. But with older words, it does. I think, is that the logic? Maybe there's some other better explanation, but I feel like I heard that. Järvi. Oh, this means a lake. And I happen to know this one. Järveä. Sovellus. I should know what that is. Is that like a contract or an agreement or something like that? Why do I feel like it's just sovellusta? Because it is. Ovetta means without a door. And oh, hey, Astrid, welcome in. Good to have you here. You're new to the channel, watch some of your older streams and wanted to watch from part 1, but when you scroll down the list, you can't find. That's true. I had privated the first whatever videos a long time ago, and I have thought about putting them like unlisted again. But I don't know. I don't want to commit to saying I'm going to do it. But that is a good point. Yeah, they aren't visible. I can confirm that. You know, sometimes I felt like I do remember the reasoning at that time why I did that. It was just because I felt like there was too much of me was exposed on the internet, and I was just like, I don't know. I don't want someone to like pull up a clip of me because I ramble sometimes and I rant, and sometimes I say kind of dumb stuff. And there was just like a fear that maybe someone could, I don't know, not blackmail me, but like, I don't know, just troll me. And I was like, so I think that was kind of the idea. I just felt like I didn't want all of that to be exposed. It was a very natural human instinct. I'm not ashamed of it, but I don't know. Maybe it'd be better if I didn't do it. But yeah, Solvelus, among other things, an app. Oh, okay, Solvelus. It means an app. But wait, got 27. You got a date tonight with a lady. Oh wow. Okay, what? She makes metal supports for gates. There's a lot hinging on this. Somehow I doubt you have an actual date. But if you do, I totally support you. I hope the hinge moves smoothly. I hope you get to grease the hinge tonight, 27. Oh my god. I can't take that back. Once it's been said, good luck. I don't know what Gausi means, but it's probably... Is that same logic? No. It can't be this, right? Then it has to be something like this. Okay, now I'm totally lost. Gausi. Gausi. Why did I feel like that? Gaustetta. How about that? I'm just making words that sound like Finnish to me. But yeah, and Juha, susi is also used in a saying, blank is a total susi, meaning, bad, non-working, or broken. I have heard this, a total wolf, blank on ihan susi. And, yeah. If we are afraid of saying stupid stuff, we'd not be saying anything at all, right? Yeah. I don't know. I also feel like I probably explained it in a way that sounded too logical. Like, it wasn't that logical of a decision. It was also, it felt like, there have been times that I thought like I wanted to delete my channel. Not the happiest thoughts or feelings to have. And it was around that time when I was like, well, okay, I'm not going to delete my channel, but I'm at least going to take down the things that make me feel uncomfortable. And so that's why I did that. But, I don't blame myself for feeling uncomfortable. But those things probably shouldn't have made me feel uncomfortable to begin with. But that's not my fault. But yeah, I don't know. I might consider putting all of the videos back on unlisted and putting them in a playlist. It does baffle me that there are people out there like you who appreciate those videos. They're just random live streams. And also, it's mostly me just like rambling in English, doing very little actual learning of the Finnish language. Because it's a lot more fun just to hang out and talk with you guys than it is to be like this Finnish learning acquisition machine, so we do Finnish, but it's more of like a chill stream. But people, I guess maybe that's why you would want to watch it. I don't know. Thanks for letting me know. I do appreciate that. Yksi savuke. What is it? What is that? Savuke. Why do I feel like, no, I was going to say, does it have something to do with washing? Like saipua. But no, I don't think savu is related to saipua. Coxy. Savua. It's just a guessing game at this point. Does the K remain? Savuetta. You're blushing, 27? And now that you have your attention, do you find the word pahru difficult or not? I mean, I find all Finnish words difficult. But yes, I did notice this. One of the first things I noticed about Finnish, in the way like the H is pronounced, it's pronounced in a position that is very unnatural for English. We never put an H at the end of a syllable, like after a vowel but before another consonant. We would never pronounce, we always pronounce the H like at the beginning before a vowel. I can't think of any other cases where we would put the H in that position, like pahru. You know, you have to like say the p and then a little h sound and then ru. And obviously it's also difficult because the R is a different type of R from what we have in English. And the Y sound is a sound we don't even have in English. It's this like U sound. We don't, the closest thing would be like Mewtwo from Pokemon, Mew. But even that doesn't sound right. And the sound is also a bit different. Though I guess we probably have some English words that could be like foot, foot. Or even like book. But it doesn't sound as strong. In English, it's softer somehow. Whereas in Finnish, it's more like, you really gotta burp it up. But yeah. Okay, anyways, let's look this word up, savuke. Because the guessing game is not necessarily the best way to learn. Even though it can be fun. The partitive, wait, I was really close. I wrote savuetta. But it's savuketta. And it means a cigarette. That's interesting. Savu meaning smoke. Savu sauna. I have seen that word before then. Okay. Savuketta. Boom. Yksi vuosi, 1 year. Kaksi vuotta, 2 years. Yksi ihminen, 1 person. Kaksi ihmistä. Just kidding. Ihminen. Why did I feel like it was ihmistä? Kaksi ihmisestä. No, that can't be it. Ihminentä. That's definitely not it. Oh my goodness. Heard is like heard. Need an a. Oh, ihmistä. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's tricky. I mean, sometimes you'll notice when I'm typing in Finnish that even when I know the word has an a, I'll still put an a, just a regular a there, even if I pronounce it as an a in my head. I'll still write it with an a, or at least when I'm typing. Sometimes that happens. Yksi eteinen, kaksi. Wait, what is eteinen? Why do I feel like that's like an entrance or something like that? Well, let's try to get eteistä. We got the answer, so at least. What does that mean? It is the entryway, the hallway. Oh, I also just learned another word. What is it? Tuulikatto. Copy. The wind closet. Tuli kapissa. Hold on. When you enter a home in Finland, you don't enter through an entryway. You enter through a closet like this is Narnia. The wind closet. Copy. Yeah, tuuli copy. Long vowels. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Hopefully there's no tuli in your copy. What's up, Bish? Welcome in. Let me look up. I forget. What does tuli mean? That's fire, right? That's fire in Finnish. So yeah, yeah, fire closet. Yeah. Well, I guess if there's a lot of wind blowing there, a fire could really take off, but hopefully not. Not if you've checked your fire escape or whatever insulation system in your attic using the proper unit of measurement, the matchbox. I just try to imagine the poor man who's up in his attic trying to figure out if his attic space is up to code with a box of matches. Parveke becomes parvekasta. Or is it casta? No, it's because it starts with a pa. Parvekasta. Just kidding. Just kidding. How? Okay. There we go. We're good. Parveketta. Parveketta. This is really good practice for me, actually. The number of words I'm getting wrong is a good indicator that I need to practice more. Keskus. Why do I feel like it's just keskusta? Yeah. Yeah. Wait, the next two are a fun pair? Oh, keskus and keskusta. Wait. What the hell? Oh, by the way, I wasn't translating. Parveke, that means the balcony. And keskus is the center. And keskusta is downtown. One downtown, two downtowns. God, man, English is so much easier than all this. You'll notice that we don't have a website for learning English with trillions of, exercises and, quadrillions of possible word permutations. Keskusta. Boom. Boom. Right? Doesn't it mean downtown, right? Let me just double check that. Let me just dubile. Let me coxy checketta that. Coxy check. Coxy checka is to double check in Finnish. Yeah, the center or the downtown. And yeah, and keskus also means center. Right? But keskusta to me is like downtown. Oh, but it can also mean the center in politics. Keskusta. Lorelai's like, just several thousand websites. Don't argue with, probably reasonable facts, okay? Let me relish the absurdity of this exercise. And yeah. Hius. Why do I feel like this means ouch? Or like, it means, what is hius? Well, let me try to Hiusta. Okay, I got it correct first try. Hius. What does this mean? A single hair. Is there another expression like this for like if you're saying ouch? Hius. A single strand of hair. And that's why when you get a haircut, it's or you're just talking about someone's like the color of someone's hair, you say hiukset, their hairs plural. Hiukset. Hiuksia. Outs is what you say, Lorelai. Outs. Yksi ohjelma, kaksi ohjelmaa. That's easy. That means a program, like a computer program, right? Ohjelma. Yksi tiskikone, kaksi tiskikonetta. And that's a like a dishwashing machine, right? The dishwasher. Yksi havupuu. This is some type of tree? Havupuu. Kaksi havupuu. With one T. Havupuuta. Let's look this up. Havu. What is havu? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Just a conifer. So it's a category of trees. A softwood. Conifer tree. Havu. Havu meaning soft? Or something else. Okay, let me look at it. A havu is a fresh sprig or small branch of a coniferous tree. Or more rarely, it is a needle of a coniferous tree. Yeah, when used in a compound, it refers to conifers in general. Oh, havupuuta would mean without the tree. Oh my gosh. It's so easy to say the complete opposite of what you mean in this language with just a subtle, shift in your pronunciation. Yksi näppäimistä. Nappy boy strikes again. Näppäimistä. What is this though? Is this also like a thief? I don't know. A keyboard! Oh, I saw this word recently. I should have known this. The keyboard. Näppäimistä. Näppäimistä. Yksi näyttö. Näyttö. Does this mean a show or... No, I feel like näytelmä is what I'm thinking of. Like a show. But näyttö, maybe, is that the screen? Let's check after. Näyttöä. Let's take a look. It has something to do with showing, right? It is a showing or evidence. Oh, or a screen. I was right. It's like your monitor. An ellipsis of näyttökoe. Näyttökoe. A proficiency test. Well, I'm doing a partitive proficiency test. I'm doing pretty well. I'm getting probably like 70% correct first try. Yksi viiva. Viiva is when you're like is a line, but specifically like this line, right? When you draw the viiva. Nappi, nappit being a word for hands. Ah. And DV says the abessive case TTA can be easily bypassed by using ilman plus partitive. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's typically how I would use it, or that's how usually how I've seen it, at least on Selko uutiset. But maybe because it's Selko, they use ilman to make it a little easier. Havupuutta is a word that you can almost guarantee you'll never come across in regular conversation. Annoying word because every native speaker knows what it means, but no one uses it. The without, without a softwood. Autotta is the same as saying ilman autoa, without a car. And no one uses the abessive in puhekieli unless trying to act smart. That reminds me of the dog Alpha from the movie Up. The way that dog, I wonder how, guys, you have to tell me, the dog from the movie Up, but not the good dog, the Doberman Pinscher dog, that is the Alpha, who's like the bully, and he's like, you know, he's the mean one who's like, the way that he talks is in English. It's a very stylized, pseudo-intellectual kind of speech he uses. Like his sentences are very like, they're like very long, and uses kind of like, he says things like, "Do you understand that which I am saying to you now?" You know, instead of just saying, "Do you understand me?" "Do you understand that which I am saying to you now?" But it's because he has such a high opinion of himself that he's using these complex structures to reflect the high level of intelligence he possesses. Does it sound like that in Finnish? I wonder how they translate stuff like that. That's got to be such a weird, I don't know, such a fun problem to try and solve if you're the translator. And Mirabelle, welcome in. Good to see you. You're saying peltilehmä is a fun word for a car. Lehmä, doesn't that mean a cow? Peltilehmä. I'm gonna look it up. A sheet metal cow. A kind of derogatory term. How dare you derogate my automobile? Can't you see my car has feelings? Have you not seen Pixar's Cars? That's like Mater. You know Mater from Cars? He's like the stereotype redneck hillbilly car. And he's the tow truck, and he talks like this, and he doesn't have an education, and he's a stereotype of dumb Southern people. How did they translate him into other languages? Is there a good equivalent? I've been thinking, actually, I got inspired by the video of, what's the guy's name? But, well, you guys will know when I tell you. It's this classic Finnish video of the rally drivers, and they're driving, and then suddenly something happens, and one of them cries out in Finnish, and the other one is like, he's like, what's going on? What happened? He's like, "Mitä tapahtuu?" Like, what's happening? And then they stop and they interview, and the guy's like, "A stone or something," and he says with a very heavy Finnish accent that is known in Finland as rally English. He's like, "Up, something went up the seat, up the ass of Timo." And he says it so plainly, so matter-of-factly, and he also does a hand gesture that I think my my channel might get, you know, demonetized if I do. There's something so beautiful about the simplicity, the honesty, the ability to communicate so clearly. But also the fact that Finnish people loved it, right? That this expression of rally English on the international stage with international media was somehow like, you can't say Finnish people don't have a good sense of humor. They are the first people to laugh at themselves. For such a serious nation, they oh. So yeah, that's such a classic meme. I feel like I'd have fun making a little video about it. Or like more like a video essay reflecting on the significance of this meme and what it reflects within Finnish culture or something. I don't know. But yeah, oh yeah, Lorelai says it's kind of hard to be havupuuta in this country, right? We have so many whatever pines and spruces all around us. You've seen Up.js, but you don't watch the dubbed versions. True, yeah. That's, yeah. I guess, yeah, a lot of people would just see it in the original. Or maybe with the subtitles. But with these kids' movies, they often do get the dub, right? Because kids won't be able to read. Your dream job would be being a voice acting director or a translator for cartoons. That's cool, Yuha. I hope you get that. Another fun word for a specific kind of car. Dollarihymy. Dollarihymy. Hold on. A dollar smile. What a luxurious car, especially an American one. Now this is interesting because this is also another interesting part of Finnish culture. There was a period when American culture was very popular. And I mean, still today you could say it's popular in a certain sense. But like back in was it the 70s, maybe the 80s? It was like American stuff was so cool. And Finnish people just wanted American cars and things. I don't know. I don't really know enough about that time to say anything confidently, but I have heard that it was like this for a while. It was very difficult to get certain American things. 1963. Sitten tuli keskustasta vaalean sininen dollarihymy, renkaat soiden. Then a light blue, luxurious American car arrived from downtown with wheels blazing, renkaat soiden. That's interesting. Oh wait. Oh, it just said when it's like retrieved or whatever, but yeah, I wonder if that word came from that time period. But hold on, wait. Is Mater who you relate to most? Mater is great. All right. He's Lightning McQueen's best friend. All right. A little rough around the edges. I'll say this. The older I get, the more I relate to Mater. You know, the less pretension I have about myself as life and experience continues to chip away. Is the chipping away a refinement of a beautiful statue? Or is it just like a beaver gnawing away at the base of a tree and I'm just waiting for the right gust of wind to knock me over? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Yksi lapsi, kaksi lapsia. Kaksi lasta. What am I talking about? I should at least know that one, right? Lopsy is such a common word. Uksi meri. Coxy. Why do I feel like it's merta? Because it's the correct one. Yeah, Lopsy is child. Meri is the sea. And Uksi veli. Veli. Why do I feel like this is a bike? Is that because I'm thinking in French of velo? Veli. Coxy velta. Hey. Velia. Oh my. What if it's velta? Oh my gosh. Velia. What is it? Velia. I have no. Up in the ass of Timo. Yeah. It was, yes, Marcus Grunholm and his co-driver Timo Rautiainen. Oh my gosh, what is that, JS? I would never have guessed that. Hold on. Vel, yeah. What? Okay, let me look that word up just so I know what we're talking about. Veli. Oh, it's in Catalan. Okay. Catalan, Esperanto, Estonian, Faroese, Finnish. Here we go. It means your brother. Veli. It's not... Is the word for sister sisko? Or is there another word for sister? Veli. I forgot about this word. Bro. In Helsinki, we call each other Veli. Bro, what's up, bro? But the bro is often associated with immigrants. Hell yeah, that's me. That's me. What's up, my bros? My Velia. My Veliet. Veli. Velia. That is so weird. Why is there a J in there? Well, don't ask questions. Just absorb. Just absorb the material. Now, I would also like to point out that we are currently an hour and 38 minutes into the stream. And those of you who were frustrated or perhaps anxious that at the beginning of stream, my little diatribe about my disappointment with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, rest assured, we did our due diligence today. We practiced Finnish. All right. We went above and beyond the normal 1 hour time limit that I set for myself with these streams. But historically, there is a J in the word. Okay. Right, there's the famous book. Is it what? Why do I feel like it's not like this? Seitsemän veljeä. That's not it. I feel like it's Seitsemän veljestä or something like that. 7 brothers. Yeah, then why is it veljestä? Where does that come from? It's got to be a different it's in the elative. Is it because it's a story about 7 brothers? Is that why? Lapsen lapaset loi lapsen liikka. I got it. Veljekset. Wait, it's another word for a brother, a more rarely used one. The one that is used in the title of 7 Brothers? Veljestä. Veljekset. Brothers. collective term for people who are each other's brothers. All the brothers are present today. It would be like the brethren. All the brethren are present today. That's a weird word, brethren. The term is used only of family, not of brothers through a brotherhood, in which case the correct term is veljet, plural of veli. Okay, so well, brethren isn't a family. So it's the opposite. But brethren sounds very fancy. Brethren. The plural of brother, from Middle English, brethren. An archaic plural of brother. The plural brethren is generally used for members of an organization, especially a religious body, whereas the plural brothers is used in the familial sense, as well as for larger groups. We are the brethren of the Learn Finnish with Me live stream. What about the sistren? The sistren. Is that is there like a sistren? We are this. Oh, this is just a. Oh, sistren. It is the plural of sister. I just made that up. This form was lost in unmarked use by the 16th century. Since then, it has been most often used jocularly together with brethren, as in brethren and sistren. Literally what I just did. If only I could speak Finnish like this, where I could just make up words and somehow they're real words. The sistren. Anywho, I should wrap up stream here, guys, and start getting ready for bed. But yeah, oh wait, Veljes is in the Wiktionary as well. Let me check that out real quick before we wrap up. Veljes. That's Estonian. Okay, Veljes, usually in the plural, brother. One of two or more brothers seen as a group. Veljesta. Yeah. Minulla on 6 veljää. Veljää. That's such a weird word. Veljää. It feels like I'm just saying veljää, but I can't say veljää. Veljää. Yhteensä meitä on 7 veljestä. Together we are 7 brothers. Veljää. 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 That's a hard one for me for some reason. Published in 1870. I need to read that book. You know, I have a strange affinity with the statue of Alexis Kivi. It's on the east side of the central train station in Helsinki, in front of the National Theater. And I like it because he looks really sad. And I like that the statue is just of a sad dude. Or maybe he's just tired, you know? But I like the weight, the burden of life that he carries, you know? And I think he also had a pretty sad life as well. I think, didn't Alexis Kivi die pretty young? Maybe it reminds me a bit of I'm blanking. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You listened to the audiobook not too long ago. I'll have to check it out. It's a full moon today. True, I actually did check that. Sadly covered in clouds in many areas. Oh yeah, I'll look outside, maybe I can see it, I don't know. 7 Wives for 7 Brothers is an American film kind of based on the book? Wait, why did you spell American as Murican? Is that a reference to the type of filmmakers from America who were like adapting the story? In the book, they are very single. Alexis Kivi died at 38. Wow. Yeah. Not America, but America. Look, you know what? Maybe, maybe it's an improvement. All right. Maybe, maybe it's like Italian food. All right. We took it, we iterated on it, we improved it. Not like macaroni latico. All right. That is an abomination, to use the Catholic term. Rather, we took the idea of seven brothers and we're like, you know what? Wouldn't the story be better if they all had wives? We improved the brothers' lives and possibly the story, but I haven't seen the movie or read the original book, so I can't really comment. I was thinking about how it's a little embarrassing that I haven't read a lot of the classic Finnish books, even in English, right? In translation, like Seven Brothers or The Egyptian. Also, to me, it's so weird that a classic book of Finnish literature is about ancient Egypt. Like, are you guys just a bunch of little conspiracy theorists about the pyramids or what? Like, why? Why is I'm trying to, what would the equivalent of that be if it was like an classic American book about the ancient Incas or something, you know, like has nothing to do with America at all. I mean, I guess the Incas are in South America, but you get my point. It's like so random. Although I've heard it's a good book. I actually have a copy of it from the library in English on my bookshelf, but I haven't started reading it. I've been reading so much already this year. I've gone through so many books, listening to the Harry Potter books, reading a bunch of other books just on my own. I recently finished The Martian by Andy Weir. I read it like 10 years ago, right around the time it came out, and really liked it. And I remember the movie, and then seeing the movie again on the flight back to Finland, it kind of reignited that interest. And I was like, I remember it was such a good book, and it did not disappoint. I enjoy that type of novel. Just an astronaut in an impossible situation and having to solve these kind of complex problems, but not too complex that you get bogged down in the math and science of it. But yeah, and yeah, it was really cool. Really good books. I want to read Project Hail Mary, because that movie is coming out this summer. So let's see if I can get a copy of it from the library. I bet a lot of other people are trying to get it as well. Oh, you can't have both continents of America. Lorelai, when we call ourselves American, it is not because we are so full of ourselves that we think we own South America. I mean, we might be full of ourselves, but not for that reason. For the simple fact that none of us would even be able to name the countries of South America. All right, 90% of Americans wouldn't even be able to place half of the countries in South America. All right, it's not about that. We understand that there's a North and a South America. And if you ask some people, there's an entirely different continent called Central America. I didn't realize this until I met someone from Honduras, and he insisted vehemently that in his schools, they were taught that there's not two continents, but three. And that there's Central America, and also that Central America does not include Mexico for some reason. Mexico is part of North America. Then there's Central America, and then there's South America. So geography is also fluid, where we draw our lines, whatever. But the point is that, what else are we supposed to call ourselves when we say we're American? Are we supposed to be, I'm United Statesian? I'm United Statesian. That just sounds so stupid. That sounds pretentious. All right, I'm American. And nobody is stopping the other American countries from naming themselves Americans. They just happen to have better names, right? I mean, you're from Mexico, you're Mexican. That is as good, if not better, than American. Canada, Canadian, right? Brazil, Brazilian. You got it all. It's so much easier when you can just say it like that. But we don't have that because our country name is the most uncreative country name of all time. We're the United States of America. And just for the record, in some languages, you do say United Statesian. Like you actually can say it in a way that doesn't sound ridiculous, the way it sounds in English. But I would like to point out that in Finnish, you do not say it. You do not say United Statesian. I was not taught that. I was taught Olen Amerikkalainen. I'm American. But even you Finnish people acknowledge it, accept it, and promote it within your own language. So there you go. There's my rant on that topic. Yeah. Yeah, Lorelai, I didn't even mention the way Finnish people use ketchup on pasta. There is almost a part of me that respects it though, because I believe that food is all about sauce, and I can respect a good dollop of ketchup in the right location. Pasta, I'm not so sure about, but on French fries, hell yeah, hell yeah. Lorelai, you've Seitsemän Veljestä is the only one you've read, and a whole lot of Runeberg. I also haven't read Runeberg, or as I guess we would say Runeberg. Runeberry. I don't know how we would say his name in English. But yeah, on pasta, Mirabelle, that's what we do here. In fact, I do not associate myself with those sorts of, very despicable activities. Kiwi died of neurosyphilis. I don't even know what that is. But wow. Sounds bad. Sounds bad. We just had a Finnish Culture Day, Kalevala Day, on February 28th, right? I think that's the Finland Finnish Day of Culture, also called Kalevala Day. I didn't celebrate. I should have. We say Yankee. Yankee. Now, Lorelai, as a Southern man, I grew up in Texas. I would never call myself a Yankee. That's what actually really surprised me when I go abroad and people just refer to all Americans as Yankees. But historically, the Yankees were just the northern part of the United States. It was only half the country who were Yankees. And also, it's not something we want to go back to unless you're a member of the New York Yankees, right? The sports team. It's not a term people really use in America because it's we yeah, we don't want to go back to the Civil War. I guess maybe some people in America are kind of going back to those divisions and finding meaning in it, but that's not a good thing. It's not something I would like to see. But yeah. Yeah, it is kind of funny when I first heard that, and I was like, it's so weird that like foreigners use Yankee so casually and without any idea of where in the United States you're from, because it does matter. Like, I'm glad the North won, by the way. I feel like I need to say that. Even though I don't identify as a Yankee, that doesn't mean I'm a Confederate, all right? I'm not, I grew up in the South, but I'm not, okay? This is getting really awkward now, all right? Oh, man. To us, you all look like Yankees. Probably something like Britti, a Yankee happened. Like, yeah, referring. Actually, it is more confusing to me, British. Like, are all people from the UK British? Because they are. But are Irish people British? Are they part of the British Isles? Is Ireland a British Isle, or is it not a British Isle? Is Northern Ireland British? Although I guess if you talk about Northern Ireland and Ireland, that's kind of already a difficult distinction or whatever. And the history with Britain and Ireland. Yeah, there's just so much historical conflict. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's true. Well, to name Germans as Saxons, as we say, Saxalyset, yeah. What's the definition of a Yankee? It's like a quickie, but you do it yourself. God, I wish I hadn't read that out loud. 27. I trusted you. You're supposed to give me dad jokes, not uncle jokes. All right. That's a good one though. I appreciate it. North Ireland only. Okay. And the Scots. People from Scotland, do they identify as being British? Or yeah, I don't even know where the word British comes from. Let's look this up actually. We're on Wiktionary. Let's see if we can get an explanation. Why is it showing me French and Spanish? Il est très british. He is a very typical Brit. Oh, because I didn't capitalize it? That's why? From Middle English, from Old English, the spelling with single T, blah, blah, blah. So it's pretty old from the Middle Ages. In reference to the island of Great Britain from circa 1400. As a noun referring to the British people from circa 1600. The residents or inhabitants of Great Britain. Or the citizens or inhabitants of the United Kingdom. The earlier inhabitants of southern Britain prior to the Anglo-Saxon invasion and subsequent migrations. The Britons. Or a synonym of the Welsh people. Also, Welsh is a confusing word in English because it can also just mean like any foreigner. Like in a long, long time ago, the English people used to refer to all foreigners as Welsh, I think. I feel like I remember this. Yeah, now historical, indigenously British, pertaining to the Celtic peoples who inhabited much of Britain before the Roman occupation. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm not. A breed of pig. Maybe I don't. Maybe the usage I just brought up is not true. I don't know. I could be confused. But the Britons. Breton. But isn't there a part of France that's called Brittany, right? In northern France. Citizens of Britain are usually known collectively as the British and informally as Brits. Blah, blah, blah. Britain has been used for modern people since the personal union of England and Scotland under James I, but some speakers continue to deprecate that sense and use it exclusively to refer to the ancient Celts in the region of Roman Britain. When a speaker is accustomed to calling modern Brits Britons, the former Celtic peoples are usually distinguished as the ancient Britons. Yeah, isn't there like Brittany? Is that how you spell it? Which is a part of it's not even part of Great Britain. in Northwest France. Hey, look, I'm asking too many questions. Don't worry about it. Tanya. Yes. You wanna clip that of me saying I'm glad the North won, by the way? In case any of you are in doubt, Northern Ireland is complicated, and the current EU border is in the Irish Sea. Yeah. Yeah, the people of the United States is officially Yhdysvaltalaisia. Olen Yhdysvaltalainen. Did I say that correctly? Olen Yhdysvaltalainen. I am United Statesian. But Amerikalainen is how I've learned it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, we are now past 2 hours for the stream. Thank you all for joining. Hope you're having a good start to the week. I sure am. Yesterday we had a Stardew stream, and it is going swimmingly. The Granny Challenge is off to a fantastic start, but we're like over 40 episodes into this attempt. Into year 2. We are cruising into summer of year 2. We're going to be building the Starfruit Republic. Like a banana republic, but for Starfruit. You know, Granny is a colonial capitalist building her plantations on foreign soil. Yeah, don't look. It's just a role play, all right? Don't take it don't take it too seriously. So yeah, that's fun. I'll be back doing that probably on Thursday. But yeah, we do our Finnish language stream every Tuesday starting at 7 p.m. and usually ending at 8 p.m. But today I gave you a little bonus in exchange for allowing me to rant about Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings a little bit as well. So thank you for that. How many times have you restarted due to forgetting someone? Only 5. Or I've restarted only 4 times. So we're on our 5th attempt. It's the first 3 attempts. I didn't forget anyone. It was just that we physically did not get lucky enough to get the item we needed. So we had to restart those very quickly within the first few hours of gameplay, basically. And then attempt 4 got very far, and we had to restart that because I did actually forget. But now on attempt 5, we are farther than we've ever been. And I feel like I can see the end in sight. I feel like we've crossed a threshold where I'm no longer afraid of not having the items or whatever, you know, and we're very diligent about checking whose birthday and checking if there's any quests that we need to do that day or whatever. So we're taking our time with it. And it's a lot of fun. So I hope you guys would like to join a little Stardew gaming stream. It's great if you're doing something, you just need something in the background, a little ramble, a little banter, a little lore crafting. We come up with all that stuff for Granny. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, so have a good rest of your Tuesday, guys. And I hope to see you in the next live stream. Goodbye.